Okay, so here we are on day 3 of my LD only account. One thing I want to show you here is very early in the game, as soon as you have enough resources, you need 500,000 mana, and you need Shining Mithril and Magic Dust. Magic Dust is from the Essences halls, and Shining Mithril and Solid Rock are from Mount White Ragon. So you need a little bit of those in order to build the energy extractor. And the energy extractor is awesome. It gives you a lot of energy every day. So we've built that. We've been working on the monster fusion. So you're in the challenge, the monster fusion here. We need to 4-star max the water elemental, and then we'll be able to fuse the dryad. And the game gives you this basically because Com2uS knows that almost everyone's going to build the dots team. Well, we're not going to be able to do that. We could potentially build a light and dark only dots team, but it probably won't be as efficient or safe as just a regular damage team. So we'll give that some thought, but we can't use Melia, but we certainly could use these 4-star rainbow mons and then the runes that come with it. So we're almost done on that. We're running XP farming right now, and our farmer is Gorgo, so the Dark Warbear. He is by far the best farmer early game for light and dark. I don't think there's any other special dungeon monster or monster that you are guaranteed to get, like Fran or Lucian. None of those are efficient farmers, so Gorgo is your best choice. So I would recommend the first weekend where you have light and dark secret dungeons to get Gorgo, and he can even farm when he's not 2-8. He's better when he's 2-8, but he's great without being 2-8. So he was our first 6-star. He's already up to level 36. He'll be maxed today. And then, so this is the monster box. Lucian, Fran, and Lauren. So Fran and Lauren are used everywhere. Lucian is basically just at the very beginning when you get him, he helps. But he's more for siege or even arena, because he has a speed lead, 15% speed lead everywhere. But he's not really that useful for other PvE content. But Fran and Lauren definitely are. So those would be my next 2 6-stars. And then we're going to try to see if we can get to GB10 today to get the light dark scroll. And so our GB10 team we're currently going to try Gorgo, Fran, Lauren, Kuna, and then either Lucian or maybe the Garuda, or maybe Cameron. So we'll have to try different combinations with that. I've gotten decently lucky at special dungeons. I was able to get on a Lauren dungeon, which is huge. So she's ready for GB10. And then I got, let's see who else we got here. So we got the Dark Pixie, who's actually pretty good, and we'll build her and talk about her more later. Then I got both of the Harpoos, and both of them are excellent for Necro. So that will be the beginning of my Necro team. And then we got Shushu, who's really good. He's kind of equivalent to Lulu, not quite as good, but pretty close. We got the Light Viking. We got the Dark Fairy Soren, who smacks. So she'll be fun to use in Siege. And then we also got the Light Hellhound and Garrock. Not too sure I'm going to build those right away. We have to kind of see what other things we pull and what our needs are, because those are less good. So anyway, that's where the monster box is at. We're basically done with the novice, so we need to craft an unknown magic box, and so we'll show you that. Okay, so what you do is you go into the craft building, Click here, go to others. There's 3 kinds of magic boxes. Legendary magic boxes are actually quite good. It requires Rift Beast materials, but it's well worth it. I've got a full light and dark scroll, I believe. Yeah, so you can get a light dark scroll, legendary scroll. You can get a really nice set of scrolls from this. And now it's not typical. You often get mana and then a couple of grinds, but even then, really nice boxes. Mystical magic boxes also require Rift materials, but you can see very similar things that you can get, but the chances are much lower. So I never bother with those. Unknown magic boxes only require essences, but they don't give much at all. So you don't have the chance for a full LD or a legendary anymore. It's just pieces now. But they're not, they're not horrible. Actually, that's a violent speed. Keep that. HP percent resistance and accuracy, that could be useful. That's amazing. It's pretty amazing. That's not typical for even an unknown magic box. It's usually 1,000 mana, and like a 3-star gray rune that is flat stat. So, but that's where that is at. So that allows us to complete this one. And off camera, we completed, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Shikaru Remains. So we get 3 scrolls from that, plus 3-star Angelmon, or Rainbowmon, and then 750 crystals, which is awesome. So we're going to do that, and we also got some more emojis. But that opens up, by finishing that, we now have the intermediate. It wants us to go into the Dimensional Rift. We already did that. We already did the World Boss, so that's done. Trial of Ascension 20, which will be debatable. So now, earlier I thought that we needed to do Necropolis to get these open, but we don't. So now we can go right into Steel Fortress, Punisher's Crypt, and Rift Raid. So we're going to go do that now. So we're going to go into battle, Kairos Dungeon, come down here to Steel Fortress, check the strategy info. That completes a quest. Punisher's Crypt, that completes a quest. And then we need to go into the Rift Worlds and come down here, look at strategy info, and that completes a quest. So now we've got those 3 done. And we can come back. Let's see our XP farming has finished. Let's see who's maxed. He's maxed, that's great. So we'll put her there. We're going to add in one more. Well, he needs to get finished up. So now we can come over here, do our first fusion. So we're going to unlock him. Unlock him. Unlock her. And unlock this dude. And we now have Melia, which is not needed because we can't build the dots team on here. She's wind. So she is going to go into storage. One of the things I'm still debating about this LD only account is, do I keep the 4 stars for eventual use on the LD4s that I get, which could be a very long wait, or do I use them, do I feed them in the craft building to make LD pieces? That's something I'm going to have to decide soon as those build up. But we can now see that monster fusion is done. So we got 4 of those, which will help 5-star something else. And then we get these runes, which are pretty good runes. They're support runes. So speed and accuracy. So if that rolls well, speed with HP and accuracy. No speed here, unfortunately. And a 4 speed and accuracy there. HP % with speed, accuracy, and resistance, which is a perfect support rune. And then no speed here, but still good stats for support. So, and now we get our fire lizard man, who becomes fodder. And then what I really wanted was this guy. So now we have an attack bar booster, and he's also a cleanser. So he's actually quite good in R5. So he will be built. And then we get energy here. And so now we're going to see if we have a chance. So we'll let that finish so that the Yeti's maxed. Because if you come into Summoner's Way, we already completed Event 1, which gives you 4 really nice rune sets for early game. They're quite good. And then we did the fusion event, and we could not do Gene, so we got Vero. So we have all the pieces for Vero, and we have been cruising through using energy. So we also completed Event 3, which is a point shop, which had a bunch of Rainbow Mons, Essences, King Angel Mons, Rune Symbol set, and also Legendary and 2 Devil Mons. So we got all that. We're now into Event 4. In Event 4, lets you choose 1 4-star of your choice. You have to pull for a while to get the one you want, and it also gives you a bunch of mana. So we'll definitely use the mana. And we're going to hold off on this one as long as we can, so that we can summon our first LD4 and then get a skill up for it. So we're going to hang on to that event. But this is now done, and we're hoping that the Yeti is now complete. He is, and so is that. So we have finished the novice progression on Summoner's Way. We're in the intermediate, and I don't really want to cruise through the intermediate yet, because most of this stuff is pretty easy, but there's a lot of skill ups in this one, and we don't have a 4-star yet, and those are kind of wasted. So I think we're just going to kind of not do the intermediate for a while until we get a 4-star. But there's a lot to do here. We can finish B10, hopefully of Dark, and that'll get us some nice rewards. If we can get B10 cleared in Giants, we get a nice Swift Energy set, which is a pretty decent set. Dragon's Lair, another Violent Revenge set, which would be amazing. And then Necropolis is a Rage Will set. And I believe that one is a Damage Dealer set. And then Artifacts and Devil Mons here, which isn't as exciting, but still good things to get. Okay, so Hall of Dark, we've gone up to B7. Let's see if we can do B8. And this was our team, and we're probably not going to change it. So we only have We only have 7 monsters who actually have runes on them, and these are 5 plus TOAN plus Cameron. That's it. So we're going to try B8 with just this. I don't think this is an auto requirement. You just have to finish it. So I think we can probably do B8 on auto. So we're going to try that. The one downside is that I had to switch runes around, and Kuna is no longer faster than Gorgo. So Kuna goes after Gorgo, which is pretty bad because you want Kuna's defense break to go first, which is going to make Gorgo hit a lot harder. So we're just it was just unfortunate with the way the runes we have, because we've not done any rune farming. We're just relying on the runes that the game gives you, and plus a couple of runes that we got from daily rewards and things like that. So far we're not having any trouble. And one of the things that I wanted to cover today is that I am, by kind of nature, I'm kind of a reluctant, cautious person. And I always find that I can, in the multiple times that I've started this game over on different accounts, that I could usually handle much higher in dungeons than I think I could. And so I'm slowing my own progress just by being cautious. So I would recommend, if you're not sure if you can do higher in the dungeons, give it a shot. And, you know, if you do one fail and you fail miserably right away, then you know you need to wait. But you could surprise yourself and do a lot better than you think you could have. So B8 was no trouble there. Did that on auto. I think that was just over a minute. That's pretty good. So now we're going to try B9 on auto. I love autoing stuff. I don't really like having to manual stuff. And so you see there 27k from Lucian when he has an attack buff and a defense break. So he hits pretty hard. He's very few people use him, but he is underrated. And he can be one of your best friends on a light and dark only account. So don't discount Lucian. And Kuna, as you saw in the first episode, I wasn't quite sure if I should have, so I pulled 2 Nat 5s plus Kuna, and I wasn't really sure if Kuna was worth keeping or if I should have done another reset. And now that Kuna is 5-star, and actually I think I have him runed on a damage build now, just because I had so few runes. He's better as a support build, but he actually does decent damage with his AoE. And so I might keep him on an attack build for a while and have him helping out with extra damage. But we will see over time if that's a wise decision or not. But now it looks like we might even be able to do this on auto. And one of the really nice things early game, when you're still, when resources, now the game gives you a ton of free resources, but obviously you have so much to do, your resources can go very quickly. And if you complete any of the B10 dungeons, you get 150 crystals, which is really nice. So if we can do that, that would be great. We'll see if the quest gets completed or not. But there we go. AoE defense break, and Kuna generally hits almost all of his defense breaks. It's a really nice, reliable defense break, unlike Galleon. So we are definitely going to get Kuna on faster runes so that he goes ahead of it. We'll have what will be typical for, you only need, in most of the PvE content, you probably only need about 10 or 15 monsters to complete everything except for riff raids where you need more. So my standard team is going to be Fran moving first, followed by Kuna to defense break everybody unless a strip is needed, and then everyone else will follow up and do damage. And so once you get it speed tuned with Fran and Kuna, the rest is pretty easy. Okay, we're at the boss, and we're missing everything because most of our accuracy is low on Kuna. Well, actually Gorgo is the one that has the despair set now, which has around 70% accuracy. Everyone else has pretty low accuracy, so when you get into the higher level dungeons, you're going to be missing a lot. And we have immunity up, which will reduce the dots that are coming on us. But we're going to get some more dots here in a minute. Yep, there we go. We need Fran to put her immunity back up. Now, Fran is not fully skilled, so that could be a problem here. Well, there's the blessing. And Fran's the only one with low HP. And you can see there, Lucian doing 17k, 12k there, and that's his skill 2. So he's not doing bad. And we might be able to do this on auto, which would be awesome. Yep, there we go. So we almost certainly have cleared the mission now. So we'll go back and check on that. Got some unknown scrolls. Okay. Why did the Summoner's Way not complete? Oh, we have to clear B10 10 times using repeat battle. But we've shown on camera that we can clear it. I'll do that off camera. We don't need to sit here and wait for that. For giants, it's really important that you can slow down the giant and attack power break him. Ideally put a glancing hit on him so the giant can't do enough damage to kill you. And then you need a defense break to make him weaker. And then you want immunity on your side to keep the defense break off your team. And then you need, ideally, attack bar reduction, especially for the right tower, to keep the attack buff off of the giant. So this team has most of that, and so we're going to use that to begin with. We might have to switch to Cameron and 5-star her, because she has a slow, and she also has the glancing, and she also does pretty good damage with her skill 3. But we will see how this. So Gorgo is on here to do his AoE attack, and he does decrease attack bar as well. But we want, there we go. So he does his AoE attack to put the attack power break down on the mid boss, as well as the waves in the boss. So there we go. Oh, and he did good damage there. And he would do even better if Kuna was moving before him and putting that defense break on. We've been trying to get the Crow special dungeon, because once we get Crow, Lucian's going to take a seat. He's not ideal. He is skill 2 stuns. He's not going to stun the boss. So, and Crow will definitely do more damage, especially once Crow is 2A. So Lucian is just a spot holder right now. But we got B6 done. And the other reason we want to do Giants B10 is that we'll have access to another LD scroll. So we've done, so we did 1 reset on this account, and we are done doing that because we got Kuna and two Nat 5s, which will become 6 LD scrolls. And we will see if the gamble I'm doing pays off, if any of those 6 LD scrolls actually lead to something good. But if we can get Giants B10 done today, we'll have another LD to pull at the end of this episode. It's getting a little more iffy because there goes Lauren. At least we have immunity up. Okay, so that looked a bit sketchy. That was B8. No, that was B7. We're probably going to need to go off camera and do a little more work and maybe even get either Fran or Lauren 6-starred before we can come back. But like I said, I tend to be a little bit too cautious, so we are going to see what we can do. Nice, Kuna took out a crystal there. So far, so good. But this is usually where the golems will freeze us. Well, now we have immunity up, so the golems are about to take their turn. And they didn't do their AoE skill anyway. So that went pretty cleanly. And so far we're doing pretty good on this wave. Go team. I love Gorgo. He's so good. And he's not even 2-aid yet. When Gorgo is 2-aid, he's even better for giants. And he's also quite good for dragons as well. So, because he does an AoE attack bar reduction. And if, oh, this is not, I'm going to take this off manual, or off auto. Try to see if we can finish this out. One of the problems with Lucian on this one is that his first skill is 3 hits. So it's pretty likely that he's going to get stomped on by the giant, especially with Fran. So we're going to try to do, there's a defense break. So we're going to try to do skill 3. Almost killed him. That's good. Okay, so B8 is done. Let's see if we can get up to at least B9. So we come in here, and this is where we can check on. So we got 100 crystals, which is awesome. Oh, and then, yeah, so B10, 10 times on auto repeat battle. So we won't be able to do that today. So we'll stop our Giants run right now and work on 6-starring Fran or Lauren. And we might need to do both. Because it would derp in 10 runs. So we got a mystical. And now we can see clear the 10th floor of the Giants. Oh, so we are going to try to clear the 10th floor of the Giants Keep 1 time. Because if we can do that, then we get the LD scroll. So let's keep going. 1 time should be possible on manual, I think. So we're going to do B9. And we should be able to auto it up until the boss again. Of course, Fran did not do her immunity there. But handling that first wave pretty good. There's immunity, and you don't need it. Gotta love the AI in this game. It's okay. Let's get through the mid-boss here. See if we can get a defense break. Thank you, Lauren. Oh, and it's slow. That's good. Fran, if you could put up, thank you. Fran does like to put her immunity up even when it's not necessary, so it helps here though. And mid-boss is taken care of. So another thing, ooh, we just lost. Okay, we might have to do this one manually because we just lost Kuna and that other crystal's really trying to hurt us. You remember, turn off the boss animations there. So we've got, ouch. Not too sure we're going to make it through this one. Oh, Lauren. Okay, we're not going to... We're going to push that attack bar back on the tower because we don't want Lauren to get revenged on. Yeah. Ankle shot. So, immunity up. And we're going to attack these towers. Lucian's full health. Fran needs a lot of health. Gorgo's okay. Gorgo's pretty tanky, so yeah, Gorgo can take the hits. Let's push the Giant's attack bar back, and we'll push these back. We don't want to hit the tower. Fran does 3 hits, so we don't want to hit the Giant. Gorgo can... Okay, Lucian's full health. We don't want a defense break on us again, so push that back. Push this back. We're going to use Gorgo and Lucian because they can take the hits. Giant just revenged, so we're going to push his attack bar back and hit with Lucian. And we're going to pound. Thank you, Gorgo. We're going to take the attack buff off and then push this tower back. And then we can hit with his big skill. Push the attack bar back there. Another big skill here. Boom. No. So I think if Lauren hits there, that's going to be 7 attacks. So we're going to do the tower again. Let's heal up Gorgo a bit. Lucian's still full. There we go. Another single attack there. Push this attack. Push that tower back. We don't want Fran taking a hit yet either. Here goes Gorgo. So he got pounded on. So that's okay. But now we can push that. There we go. Push the Giant's attack bar back. Big hit from Gorgo. Boom. Oh, he's almost dead. But I think we've got it to the point where we're going to be okay now. So kill off the Giant. Not yet. Can we do it now? No, there goes Gorgo. But we got the Giant. So that's B9. And pretty much all of their runes are already plus 15. So we don't have any more room on rune quality right now. So it's more about being careful on how you hit the enemy. That was a nice hit. So before Gorgo is 2-8, he actually has a strong single target third hit. That goes away when he's 2-8, which is kind of unfortunate. But while he's not 2-8, it's definitely worth using. So I should have tried to stun the side golem there. Yeah, instead he froze me. We don't have a defense break. Let's put immunity up. Still no defense break. Can we get a defense break? There we go. So we're going to try to get... There, we got defense breaks on the side golems as well. So we do a little more damage to them. Not that we're planning on taking them out. And what I should be doing is I should be using Kuna to try to stun the side golems. Let's see if we can do that. No, resist him. Big damage? Not really. I believe the mid-boss has pretty high defense, even with a defense break. So that's where Crow could come in super handy. See how much damage here. I couldn't see that number, but it was pretty good. Maybe should have saved that AoE attack for stage 3 here. Let's decrease the tower's attack power. And we stun the other one, so now we can kill this one. And let's put defense breaks up on nobody. That one's gone. The golems are about to move, so let's see if we can decrease their power, which is good. That worked. Push his attack bar back. Kuna is a little wounded, so we're going to declare war and heal up. Boom. Can we stun? No. Gorgo is also on despair right now, which is pretty good very early on before he is 2A'd. When he's 2A'd, then he can actually do some nice stuns without needing despair. And then he's actually somewhat better on Vio, because that brings his AoE skill back sooner. But before he's 2A'd, despair is pretty good. Okay, so let's see if we can do this properly now. Gotta keep an eye on the giant's attack bar. Push it back whenever we can. Go ahead and try this. Okay, so got plenty. We're going to push back the attack bar again. Doesn't really matter where we use Kuna. So now we can do skill 2, which still does 11k, and we'll let Gorgo take the hit. Not bad. Let's try to get that and work on the tower a bit. Kuna. Oh yeah, Kuna is on the free vampire set from later on in the scenario. So he heals up even with that. Do we want Gorgo taking the hit? I think he can take one more. There we go. Now we can heal him up. Really need to skill up Fran's healing skill. That's pretty bad. So now, okay, he's not going to take a hit, so we'll use his big skill, do good damage. Ouch. We lost Lucian. And Fran has a defense break, so we better not attack with her. He also has a defense break. Gorgo might, yeah, that's the end of Gorgo. We're going to have some difficulty here. Get rid of the, no, can't get rid of the attack buff, that hurt. Yeah. So this is where we might need to think about bringing Cameron in instead of Kuna. So Cameron would bring a glancing in, which would allow us to have both an attack power break and glancing on the giant, which would definitely reduce the amount of damage you take from the giant. So we will come back to this. Oh, wait a minute. I rarely use crystals for anything like this, but if we can kill off the giant and still get the scroll, that is probably worth it. So let's try to cleanse off. Yeah, we stripped the attack power buff, which means you can't kill Lauren. That's good. Now we're going to come in, do big damage, 17k. Can Gorgo finish it? No. But Lauren can push him back. Kuna for the kill. Yeah, there we go. Now, we will see if that gets us the LD scroll or not. 7-minute Giants B10 run. Welcome back to the early game. Hey, that's got speed and HP for now. Let's see if that counts. We have a mission complete, which I think that means it counted. Clear it with no undefeated monsters, and we got our LD scroll, which is all that matters. So we have more to do, and so we will briefly show. Okay, so let's take a look at Necro. Theory craft Necro a little bit, and this one's actually pretty easy to theory craft. So Necro, you want as many hits as possible. So Fran, Lauren, Lucian all have 3-hit first skills to help break the shield. Gorgo is there to do damage, and then later we're probably going to want somebody else, but we'll put Kuna for now, and that should be, it's only B4. And our next mission for Necro is that we need to put an attack slow on the boss, and Lauren can do that. So we should be able to do this on auto. And we're not hitting who we need to hit, so we need to go to attack order. Boss, left, right, and then dungeon boss is... So on Necro, you want to use Imprisoned Soul first, then the boss. Because when the boss, if the boss is able to steal your monster, you want to get it back as soon as possible. So that you have a full team to take out the boss. So now we should be able to, there's the attack slow, and so there's the quest completed. So that's great. And this should not be hard. B4 is not difficult when everybody's already 5-starred. Okay, so now we're going to come over here, go to challenge, Necropolis, and we did the attack, speed, defense. We should be able to clear B5. So let's go back in there. And later on, this team is going to be Fran, Lauren, and double Harpoos, the light and dark Harpoos, and then whoever, Crow will actually probably be the 5th member of the team, because then he can do, everyone else can do setup, and then Crow can do the big damage to get rid of the boss quickly. More defense break. There we go. Boss is finished. So B5 is done. Hey, we got a speed rune. Speed runes are very valuable early game. It's so hard to get those. So we cleared B5. Now it wants us to craft a will rune. We can definitely do that. Come here in the craft building. Go for a high rune. Will. So we have a decent amount of crafting materials. Let's see what we get. Garbage, but we don't have will runes, so we'll keep that. Except so we've got a resistance lead now. Honestly, we better put Gorgo in the front. We got speed, and then we're going to do invite, support, and Arena is going to help us. And that should be good enough to complete level 1. Okay, so we paused the recording during that tremendously long cutscene, but we now have access to the secondary awakening, and it's going to be Fran, it's going to be Lauren, it's going to be Gorgo. Now, if I had Bella available, I probably would use Bella, but we're going to try using Lucian and see how this goes. So I like going after the left crystal first. Now, you probably don't need to do that on stage 1, but starting on stage 2 or higher, it can make a difference. And it depends on what the crystals do at each level too. So now we need to see, we have an attack power break on him, which is good. But one of the problems with going against Ramagos is that his skill 3 can do, well, inflicting the amount of HP you've lost is damage, so this could be painful. But luckily it looks like Lauren's controlling his attack bar, so we don't have to worry about it. So level 2 is done. Okay, we're not going to be able to get this guy. We don't have the ability to put a heal block on him anymore. So we're going to have to do a little bit more work and ideally get Bella. But what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We have 3 secret dungeons available. Only one we want is this one. And take him out so we can bring Cameron in. She has an AoE attack. She's better for special dungeons. So we're going to let that run. So all we have left now is summons. We have 3 legendaries, 1 light dark, and 42 mystics. One of the things that's going to be difficult is we need block beneficial effects in order to get anywhere deeper than B3 or B4 in Steel Fortress. So actually the Light Lizard Man, God, I don't want to get him, but he's really the only, so the Light Lizard Man or the Light Mystic Witch is a very good monster. I would love to get her. And Zinc would be awesome. And Dark Mystic Witch. So that's what we're really looking for. We want to get Zinc or either of the Mystic Witches with our LD scroll. That would be awesome because that would allow us to progress. Otherwise, we're kind of stuck. So we crafted our, and we get the shield runes. So really nice speed rune and a really nice HP rune. So that's what we wanted. So now we've done as much as we can before we need to do some more. So now what we can do is while we're summoning, we can go Dimension Hole, Tarzan, Warbear, and we're just going to farm level 2 10 times while we're summoning. I don't recommend farming level 2. It's really inefficient, but we have plenty of energy, and I wanted to get that started, and then we're going to work on improving our team so we can farm level 3 or 4 to complete Gorgo's 2A. But I just wanted to get that started. So what we want out of this is we want a nice LD out of the LD scroll, and then we're hoping for another Nat 5 that we could then feed for 3 more LD scrolls. That would be wonderful. If not, we're just looking for skill ups. Three legendaries and a light dark. Can we get a Nat 5 out of 3 legendaries? That would be wonderful. Another Cobalt Bomber. It's a dupe. For a second, I just thought it was a Nat 5 for some reason. I'm not sure why I thought that, but Kung Fu Girl. Okay. We don't want any special dungeon monsters. A Shear would be awesome. Walkers would be awesome, but I'm also trying to think of what would be good for... So Light Drunken Master would be really good for PvE content. Not too many light ones that are good for PvE content. Light Fairy would not be bad, but she's more PvP. Helia would be amazing for Giants team. Mantura would be great. Basalt would be great. There's actually quite a few. This guy, Jamie, he's really good for R5. But, okay. Now, my last LD summon was extremely painful. Come to us, please don't do that to me. 2 summons in a row. Let's see what we get here. I can't look. Let's go. Okay, please something good. Just a nice LD3. That's all we're looking for. Oh my god. Am I going to build double Lucian for anything? No. That's disappointing. That's about as good as getting one of the useless LD3s. So, Kuna was a very good first pull. Then we get Dark Minotaur and a dupe Lucian. So disappointing.
Emotional damage. You want some therapy?
So that's it for this episode. Definitely will have more stuff to show you next time. We're making good progress, and I think the next episode we're going to have a lot more done. I'm going to try to make sure I've got, at least early on, I've got an LD scroll for every episode. So hopefully our 4th pull ends up being better. Until then, everyone have a nice weekend, have a nice night, stay safe, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.